Shadows fall, dimming the light. Whispers grow, a rising tide. Vindicator, where do you hide? Steel is over, heart ablaze. Through smoky haze, he sets his gaze. Justice calls a burning need. A city's wounds he vows to heed. From cobbled streets to tower high, Vindicator takes to the sky. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Whispers turn to thunderous roar. As shadows creep, he slams the door on tyranny's cruel, grasping hand. He fights for freedom, takes a stand. With courage born of darkest night, he ignites hope, a guiding light. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. Though battles rage and darkness reigns, hope's ember burns within his veins. He'll never yield, he'll never fall. He answers freedom's clarion call. Strikes back with iron hands, defender of this promised land. Breaks the chains, sets spirits free. Vindicator for all to see. A symbol etched against the moon. Vindicator rising soon.
Hello everybody, how you all doing? So, how many of you sing along to the theme tune when it's going? Be honest. Got quite a catchy theme tune, isn't it? I like it. Put your thumbs up if you catch yourself occasionally singing along to it. So, I sent the link out to Tom Generation X, so we'll see if he comes in. He might not come in. This is just a general chat, as it always is. So let's talk about some structure. So as you know, oh yes, definitely bit of air guitar going on there, mate. Yeah. So I put a post out, a community post out a couple of days ago, asking people what they preferred regarding live streams, because I wanted to try and get some structure to the channel. So there's a definite day when there's going to be a live stream. So what I've decided to do is, hi Stefan, how you doing, mate? So what I've decided to do is, there's a lot of division. There are those that like an afternoon live stream, and there are those that are like the evening live streams. So I've decided to cater to both parties. So what I've decided, just for the time being, we'll see how it goes. On a Monday, I will do a live stream at 12 to 1 o'clock, probably 12 till 1 o'clock, something like that, on a Monday afternoon. And then there'll be another live stream in the week, probably on a Friday, around about 7 o'clock this time. So the people that want to do evening live streams also get to take part in a live stream as well. So what do you all think to that? Give me a thumbs up if you think to that. So on a Monday, a live stream, probably 12 till 1. and then on a Friday evening, 7 o'clock, a live stream onwards. Now, they're not just going to be the only live streams. Obviously, there'll be random live streams that pop up in between those two, but those will be the two that are set in stone on the channel that are definite live streams. Yeah, it's just to add a bit of structure to the channel, and you know, so I know where I stand with things, so I can arrange my life around them. Because I know you guys have got plans and stuff like that. So if you know when a live stream is coming up, you'll know to be ready for it and stuff like that. If I keep doing these random ones, nobody can be prepared for it. So that's what I decided anyway. Hi Steve, how you doing, mate? Always good to see you coming in. That's my mod, Steve. We've got Templar here. He's also a mod. That's coming in you too. So tonight, yesterday we had a bit of a trolling, and it was Jack. It was Jack coming in to the chat again. Now, Jack comes in to the chat to disrupt things. He likes to disrupt live streams because I've pissed in his cornflakes because I've banned him from the channel for saying racial slurs and stuff like that. He's popped up in other people's live streams apparently as well. Unfortunately for Jack, he's a disruptive force. He really is. So from now on, when I see a Jack stock account, they'll just be banned straight away. No messing. You're gone. And I want my mods to do exactly the same thing. If you think it's Jack, then just ban them and get rid, because that's what they do. Yesterday, he came into the chat and was deliberately, he came in under the guise of a young lad wanting to join the army. Now, I started to get vibes from this guy because he was talking the same way Jack did. And then he tried to trigger my PTSD, because I have talked about, and this is a danger when you talk about your PTSD and what triggers it, because you'll get idiots like him that will come in and deliberately try to trigger it by doing certain things, by asking personal questions about Iraq. And if you noticed in the live stream yesterday, my mood started to drift as soon as he started asking those things. So I don't mind asking people's questions, but he was getting a bit too close to home on certain things. So yeah, that was deliberate. So Jack is a piece of shit. And I just want to let Jack know, if he's listening. I want to let Jack know. You will never be welcome on this platform ever again. You will never set foot on this platform ever again. You will be banned at every single opportunity from now on. You will be. Every time you pop your ugly head, you will be banned. And that's not down to anybody else. That's down to you and your actions. There's something severely wrong with you. There is something severely wrong with you. If you think it's okay to operate several stock accounts in order to try and get on people's live streams and, pardon my French, but fuck with their heads, there's something wrong with you. Now, fortunately for you, I'm not the sort of person that is suicidal or anything like that. If you went into a stream where somebody had PTSD and they had severe depression and you deliberately tried to trigger their PTSD, you could cause untold damage to that person. For all you know, you could trigger an episode that potentially leads to their death, where they go out and they commit suicide. So it's no laughing matter. No laughing matter at all. So that's why I've got a zero tolerance on people like Jack. Now, many of you know I tried to take him under my wing and show him the error of his ways, but he's just a nasty piece of shit. He really is. And I still think that it's not only Jack. I think there's a group of them working together, because I know things, but we'll leave it at that. On saying that, to bring the positivity back up again, I've got one of the best audiences on YouTube. I know a lot of YouTubers say that, but I really have. You guys are the best. You leave comments, you come on the videos, you leave comments of positivity and of congratulations and stuff like that. And it means a lot. It means a lot to me. It really does. You know, I don't care about, my channel's monetized and the subscribers and stuff like that. It's you guys that make the channel. And I'm so glad to have an audience like you. We may not agree on everything all the time, but we can always agree to disagree. And we have debates, and then we come back here and we're all friends and we can talk about stuff. That's how it should be. It's how it should be. And, you know, I'm proud to have an audience like you. Not everybody does, and not every YouTuber actually appreciates their audience or even interacts with their audience. They seem to get to a certain number of subscribers and they forget the people who put them there. And that is something that will never happen with me, because you guys ground me as well. You ground me. You keep my feet firmly on the ground with things too. And that's important. So yeah, thanks guys. You really are great. Really are. So how have you all been? How have you all been? All doing great, hopefully. Really hope you have. Hopefully Tom will come in. Tom's had his own issues today with people hacking his account. So go and give Tom Generation X, sorry, it's X, Tom Generation X channel. Go and give him some love as well. He really needs it today. Go and watch his video after you've watched my live stream, because he needs some help. Somebody hacked his account, and while he was trying to do a live stream, he caught it just in time, but they rigged his thumbnail on Getter to be that of a porn image. And Tom's been going through it a lot as well. He really has. He's got PTSD like me. He's also got other issues that I'm not going to talk about. That's up to him. Yeah, I've got an X account. I'll get you the link. I've also got a Rumble account, which I'm going to promote a bit today as well, before we get into some things that we want to look at. So I'll just get you the links to the channel, to the Twitter, sorry. Right, so I'll post it in the chat. You can go and check it out if you want. This is the first one I'm going to post is my Twitter X, whatever you want to call it. So that's my X account at Dark Knight DA on Twitter. So let's share the screen and I'll show you my Rumble account. So I want people to go over there and subscribe to our Rumble account, because in future, that's where I might put the more spicy videos that I make, if you know what I mean, instead of putting them on YouTube, because YouTube won't like them particularly very much. So we'll share screen. I'll show you my Rumble account. So this is my Rumble account. So on Rumble, it is Vindicator Vengeance. I've only got 43 followers on there. It's notoriously hard to build up a following on Rumble. As you can see, I've got quite a few. There's a few videos on here that I couldn't put on YouTube, put it that way. So they're on here. There's a few videos that got taken down. There's this one here with this guy. That's a protest. This is when I used to counter-protest, stand up to racism on my own. But it's interesting. We'll take a look at some of these videos if you want. But yeah, right. I'll get the link to my Rumble account. Go follow me on there if you want to. It is. It's. Oh, I'll get to that in a minute. Actually, right. So that's my Rumble channel on there that I've just posted. It is a great platform. It just needs to improve a little bit. They could actually replace YouTube if they were a bit more intelligent about it. If they made some of their options free, I think can you stream from there free now? I think I have to get something like 1,000 followers before I can stream from Rumble. So that's particularly what I want to do. BitChute is going, but it's completely blocked now. You can't watch it from the UK because of the online safety bill. That they've just shut off all access to the UK. I can't even access my content on there anymore now. But yeah, go and follow me on Rumble, because if anything should ever happen to this channel, Rumble is where I'll be. That's where I'll be dropping my videos, and X, Twitter, that's going to be my fallback position. Alex is saying, I've asked because I want to contact you regarding your security experience. Okay, Alex, yeah. Obviously, I won't be able to reveal certain details because, no offense, I don't know who you are. So if it's anything personal or anything like that, I won't reveal it. Followed you on Rumble. Thank you, Angel. That's awesome. Yeah, I find Rumble glitchy, but I'll go and check you out and sub when I get around to it. Thank you, Nicola. That's awesome. Thanks, Hearts to the Matter. That's brilliant. The more people I can get over there and follow me on there, the better, because it is a free speech platform. You can say more on Rumble than I could ever say on here. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, you can contact me for that sort of thing. Yeah, definitely. I looked at your Rumble the other day and I couldn't find you. Yeah, it's Vindicator Vengeance. The link is in the chat. I'll drop it again here so you can go and check it out. I've dropped it again in the chat. So that's my Rumble account. We'll join on Rumble, but don't use it much as it's glitchy and slow. Well, what I could do in the future, once I've set up, because I am going to ditch StreamYard. I'm going to ditch StreamYard. Tom's pointed me to some better streaming software that I can use that is cheaper than StreamYard. It's better. This is the one that he uses. So I've been thinking about swapping for a long time. So I think I'm going to do that, actually. I'm thinking of doing it. So you think you have any chance of people listening to me? I don't know what you two are talking about, but okay. Right, let's go and take a look at some stories. I don't know if Tom's going to join us. He might do. I don't know if he's online or anything like that, but hopefully he might join us. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. Oh, yeah. Friday. Might be a bit different. I might do a morning video. I might not on Friday because there's something quite big coming up. I've got something planned. Actually, I will be doing a morning video Friday because the video that I will do Friday will be uploaded Saturday. So there'll be two videos on Saturday. There'll be my morning walk video and there will be another video. I can't say what it is because I don't want to tip certain people off, but it's going to be an out and about video. We're going to be doing something a little bit different, putting boots on the ground, going and looking at something. So watch out for that one on Saturday. Right, let's look at some of the chat before I get into looking at some of the stories I want to look at. Vin, if a young man say 18 wants to do a Bush Army and is adamant about it, you ask him, right, you're gone. You just don't learn, do you? Right, so that was obviously Jack. Posting the exact same comment that he posted yesterday in the chat. Some of you might think that's a bit drastic, but I don't care. That's obviously Jack on one of his stock accounts. Again, zero tolerance for it. And even if it was that guy just messing about, don't do it. Don't do it. I've told you not to do it. Don't do it. That's what you get. Zero tolerance on that sort of stuff now. I'm not having people trying to mess with my head. It's not fair and it's sick. So that's him gone. Right. I don't want to like dwell too much on it. Good indicator and chat. Hello, Annie Red. Annie is awesome, by the way. She's absolutely brilliant. Met her at the Sandpiper Hotel protest. Also met her in Nottingham at the UKIP protest. She's a lovely lady. Really is. Brilliant. Offered to pick me up from the train station when I eventually get around to doing the Long Eaton protest. That is coming, trust me. I am doing it. I've just got a lot on at the minute with different things. I'm just trying to plan and do it so it's not half-arsed. So it's planned out and I can go and do it. Right, let's get into... you're welcome. That's the one, Steve. That's the one. Don't forget, what is it? Every Saturday from 10:30 at the next Best Western Hotel in Long Eaton. There's a protest every weekend. Patriots protesting against the illegal immigrant hotel there. Go check it out if you're in the area. Did you all see Starmer getting humiliated by Trump? The world's a stage. I know, but it was funny. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's all that. Definitely. No harm giving a little go, building up with Tom, Vin, and others. You say powerful stuff and you get it across consistently, but also I can hear the passion in your voice, like Vin. Definitely. The more people, got to get out there, do your stuff. We so need more people to join us at Best Western. The numbers are dwindling. Well, maybe not this weekend, but the weekend after, because I've checked out the train fares. The train fare is 15 quid, which is very doable. So I'll, not this weekend, but the weekend after, definitely be coming down and checking it out. We're doing a live stream from there and try and give it some love and get people to come out and go to it. Definitely. I think that's what's your opinion on Paul Thorpe, mate? I don't have an opinion on Paul Thorpe. Don't have an opinion on him. Vin, what's some of your best ways for men or really handling with fear? Again, I'm not going to answer that. Don't ask questions like that. Yeah, that's something personal. That's something you'd have to deal with yourself. Right, let's get into some stories. Let's get away from the chat and some other people in there who may or may not be Jack again. Well, let's have a look. X. There's a few things I want to get through. There's a few stories that I want to cover. So if you don't know, the Vindicator Straight Talking live stream is to cover the little stories that I can't really make a video for, but they're important that I want to talk about. So we'll go and take a look at some of these. There's an interesting one I want to start off with first because it's quite poignant for the world we live in right now. And it kind of brings it home what's happened to this country, because it's very, very true. Pause that, because that's the thing I want to play. Right. I want you to watch this video because it's very interesting. Share screen. That's it. Just watch this. So the Met Police have finally caught Winston Churchill for causing alarm and distress.
I'm PC Carter with the Metropolitan Police. You're under arrest for those statements, including "we shall fight them on the beaches" on the grounds they've caused undue alarm and distress. Do you understand?
Madam, I understand every syllable, but let me assure you I shall not surrender to timidity any more than to tyranny.
It's true though, isn't it? It's true that if Winston Churchill was alive today... How is that? What's that? If Winston Churchill was alive today, he'd be in trouble with the police for his speeches, wouldn't he? The most iconic leader in our country would be in trouble with the police because of his speech. Makes you think, doesn't it? Makes you think. Thanks, Steve. Thank you. Right. Steve, if you've got any suspicion, mate, just kick them. Just kick them. Don't deal with them. Just kick them. That's my advice. You've got full impunity to act. Right, let's have a look at some of the other stories, some of the stuff that I want to cover, because our parliament is captured. We all know that. So we've got this guy here, Starmer is out, and I think he just says it all, really, doesn't he? Has there ever been a pardon me, still got a bit of a cough. Has there ever been a parliament in history that is so openly hostile, ushering in fundamental and irreversible changes without consent against the indigenous population they purport to represent? Mass migration, digital ID, zero mandate, just utter contempt. I think he kind of says it all there for us all, doesn't he? Right, I'm not one to tell people what to talk about in the chat. The chat is yours and that sort of thing. But can we please just drop the subject of Paul Thorpe, please? I don't care. Yeah, it's irrelevant. You know, that's not what this live stream is about. It's not about that guy. It's not about any of the other people. Yeah. If you've got an issue with Paul Thorpe, go and tell him on his live stream. We'll come back to that one in a minute. So this is what fills my X feed up every single day, that there's something like this. So asylum seeker killed a woman by stabbing her 23 times. I think that's Deng Chol Majek, whatever that is. I can't even pronounce that. A migrant living in a hotel is on trial for murder after allegedly stabbing an asylum worker, the people looking after them. Rhiannon Sky White, 23 times with a screwdriver at Bescott Stadium train station in Warsaw. How many more? And don't forget, every weekend we have the counter protesters coming out shouting, refugees welcome here. And these are the people they welcome in. Now, you would think that they would say, yeah, they're welcome here, but let's keep them secure till we know who they are, till they've been checked out, until they've been vetted. But they don't even say that. They're perfectly okay with these people being in low security hotels with an SIA fat bastard security guard on the door that doesn't give a shit about where these people go or what they do in the local community. All he cares about is getting his minimum wage at the end of the month, and that's it. And the reality is these people should be in maximum security detainment camps with soldiers guarding them, with barbed wire around the camps. They should be fed prison food, and they should sleep in tents, in sleeping bags, as a deterrent to other people coming to this country illegally. That's what should be happening in this country, but isn't. It happens in every other country except ours, because we've gone too far with tolerance. There should always be a line in tolerance, because this is what happens when you've got unlimited tolerance for everybody. That there should at least be a maximum security. There should be detainment camps on unused Ministry of Defence land where we can put these people, where they can be placed under armed guard, and we can monitor where they are in the country. Not just allowed to roam free wherever they like. They could be doing absolutely anything. We're literally giving ISIS and any other terrorist group that wants to come to this country the keys to the door. And it's true what they say. The barbarians can't invade unless somebody holds the gate open for them. And at the minute, it's the Starmer regime that is opening the gate open for the barbarians that are invading this country. You're right, we don't always agree, but we bounce off each other. And yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely. Then your tune is fantastic. You're welcome. Reading through all the cases such as these makes me feel seriously down. I just can't believe what the public are being put through. Me either. This is a time in history. This is one of those rare times in history. We can't say we're living through a boring section of history, because At the end of all of this, this is going to change the country forever. However this goes down, the country is never going to be the same again. It's never going to be the same country I grew up in the 70s, 80s and 90s when I was young. This country, like I said, is never going to be the same again. It's never going to be the same Great Britain. It's never going to be the same England again after all this is done. Unless we get a true hard right party in government, then I can't see any hope at the end of the tunnel. I don't want to be down. I don't want to be negative, but I've got to be realistic. I really don't. Just checking out a few more of the comments I've probably missed. Yeah, we're fine. Hi, Vin. Hope you and your family are well. Thank you for your awesome. That's great. Thank you. Brilliant. Vin, you are fined 1 Bitcoin for violation of the verbal morality statute. Digital ID, 1 sentence. Yeah, that's basically it, isn't it? It's a dystopian future, like what is it? Demolition Man. Before long, we'll be using the 3 seashells in the toilet as well. So I'm just checking out the comments. We should disband the term citizen. We should disband the term citizen, a member of the public. These terms are where they have captured our freedoms by unknowingly consenting to what these terms mean exactly. I'm just wondering, Vindicator, what's the difference between far and hard right? Well, your far right would be the ethno-nationalists, which we all agree is not good for the country. That's taking it too far. Hard right would be what we need is something, I don't know, truly conservative, that truly believes in British values. That's what we need going into Parliament. And we're going to get onto Parliament in a minute, because I'm going to prove why it's not just good enough to get a party into Parliament. It's the whole structure of Parliament that needs to change. We'll be getting onto that in a minute now, actually. So we've got this throwaway thing here. Cash to leave letter sent to 33,000 migrants. Just deport them. Ignore the ECRJ, the European Court of Human Rights, and just deport them, like most other countries do. That's all you have to do. We don't have to give them money. And this story, this is from Gobs that talks about things. Gobs is a great YouTube content creator as well. Go and have a look at his channel as well. He's brilliant. He just says this, fucking shut up, Bacon, you twat. Doesn't mince his words like me. So this is what Richard Bacon had to say. So if you don't know who Richard Bacon is a coke snorting, disgraced ex-Blue Peter presenter that basically has the worst take on everything, like he has here. What Hamas did was so utterly dark and grotesque, so appalling, so horrifying, so moving and magnificent. The remaining hostages have been released. How do you feel when people talk about the 20,000 children that died violently? Well, they died needlessly in a war that Hamas started because they invaded a country, killing civilians and taking hostages. There were more than 20,000 people that died in Berlin during the Allied bombardment of Germany. But it was a necessity, unfortunately, because they started a war. This is the horror of war. This is why you don't start wars. This is why if you are military inferior to a country, you don't start a war with them, because this is what you're risking. You're risking your entire country being turned into a car park. That's why we don't do it. And now all these bleeding heart liberals are coming out and are trying to play victim for them. They're the ones that started the war. They're not victims in this. They're the aggressors. They picked a fight they couldn't win, and now they're paying the price for that. And as I can see from most of the news articles that I'm seeing on X, they're actually going back on a lot of the deal, on a lot of things they promised anyway. They're refusing to disarm, and obviously Israel released the prisoners, the terrorists that it captured, released those terrorists back into Hamas and into Palestine. So the whole cycle is just going to start all over again. That's what's going to happen. There's never going to be any stability in that area until Hamas is completely and utterly wiped out. And they won't do it. They won't do it. So I'm just going to play this because if you don't know, apparently our government is compromised by Chinese spies. Several MPs are under investigation, apparently, and they don't know how far it goes. It could be into the civil service, which wouldn't surprise me at all, which is why it all needs to be reduced, taken down to its foundation and rebuilt upwards. There needs to be a general election, but I don't think a general election will sort it out. The whole thing needs to be suspended and rebuilt. They all need to be got rid of, every single one of them, because not one of them can be trusted anymore. That's the sort of government we have now. Yeah, if you look at the UN Human Rights Council, it's full of the worst offenders. Pakistan, Iran, the worst human rights offenders in the world being judgmental about Israel. Well, the Chinese spies goes as deep as Hunt's dumb stick. Yep. Exactly, Temper. We're doing a Christian's place like Nigeria. Compromised only by China. Methinks many others do. Oh yeah, definitely. We've got foreign entities interfering in our government all the time. You've only got to look at the World Economic Forum. That's a cabal of foreign influencing our government all the time. They don't serve us, and they don't serve our interests. They serve foreign interests. Let me have a look and see if I can find the other one. We'll come back to that one in a minute. I think there's another one up here somewhere. I think there was another one somewhere that went into more detail. Yeah, I should have gone right down here because we've got a hell of a lot more. This is it here. Right, so obviously our parliament is compromised. This is from British Intel. Parliament infiltrated, Chinese spies exposed. So the Speaker of the House erupted after it was revealed that individuals have been paid to spy on the UK Parliament for China. Multiple MPs and staff are reportedly under investigation. Intelligence sources suggest that the breach goes far deeper than first thought. Pressure is now mounting on the government accused of turning a blind eye to foreign infiltration. We can't trust them. This government needs to go. This Parliament needs to go. There's no doubts about it. We've got foreign influence. I mean, what country in their right mind would allow a country like China to put a massive super embassy in the center of its capital? Given the fact that it's going to be put over, as Steve said, over the financial districts, communication lines and all that kind of stuff, where they could quite easily dig down to those wires and hack into them. And our financial system will be at the mercy of the Chinese government. So if confirmed, this isn't just a scandal, it's treason. Britain's becoming compromised from within. How long have traitors been running our country? Well, the way it's gone communistic and the way it's pushing digital ID, I would say for a very long time. Right, let's have a look at this. Let's see what he's got to say. I don't like this man, by the way, Lindsay Hoyle. I think he's a scumbag.
Before the Minister, I will wish to make a brief statement. Members will know that I've already put on record my disappointment that the charges against 2 individuals relating to espionage for the Chinese authorities have been dropped. Not only disappointment, but I'm very angry. It is of the utmost importance to me that all those who work in this Parliament are able to undertake their activities securely and without interference. I continue to seek advice from officials on what further steps might be taken to pursue the issue in other ways. I will be issuing an updated security guidance to members later.
Yeah, it's not enough, is it? It's not enough, that. It's weak source. It's absolute weak source. Our Parliament has been compromised. The authority that governs this country, the Parliament that runs the country, that decides our laws, has been compromised by a foreign nation. And how deeply? They don't know. They say it goes deeper. How many people? They don't know. We live in insane times. We really do, don't we? We live in absolutely insane times. Yeah, if you look, China holds most of our debt. China holds most of our debt. It's got most of our infrastructure is owned by China. They've bought up parent companies that own our water, that own our gas, our electricity. They could literally. There was concerns about them being able to put in back doors into our infrastructure and being able to flick a switch and turn it off whenever they wanted. They need to be booted out. If this was in Cromwell's times, there would already be an army marching down to Westminster right now to go and arrest them all and to dissolve Parliament. That's what would be happening right now if we lived in different times. They get away with far too much, our political class, and it needs to end. This is why I keep banging on about a written constitution and a Bill of Rights that the Americans have. We need an American constitution. That's what we need. I know a lot of people lost their collective shit when I said that we need a Second Amendment to protect it as well, the right to bear arms. We do. Do you not think that we need a right to bear arms when we have a tyrannical government like Starmer's regime in power right now? We need to have a way of defending ourselves from those people when they can send their paramilitary thugs to come and kick our doors in for speech. We need to be able to protect ourselves from a tyrannical government. I know a lot of people disagree with it. A lot of people say, oh, we don't want guns in this country. We already have guns in this country. The criminals already have guns in this country. If you don't believe me, you can go and ask my friends that work the doors in Sheffield on a weekend. Many a time, some shady car comes around the corner of some gangster, the window drops down, and the sawn-off shotgun gets poked out the window, and they get shot at. I've been to several of their venues. I've seen them. I've seen the bullet holes in the walls of the door. I'm not just talking shotguns. I'm talking automatic weapons, pistols, the lot. They exist in this country. Yeah, but it's been overridden. It's been overridden by modern law and acts of Parliament. It says it, but it's been repealed. It's been voided. Like a lot of the unwritten constitution has. If you go and have a look at it, and you look at the unwritten constitution, and by the way, unwritten means that it's not all in one place like the Constitution of the United States. It's split up in different documents. It doesn't mean it's unwritten. It just means it's not in one place. We had nightclub shootings with 9mm in 1978. Exactly. They've always been in this country. You just don't hear about them. Again, the English Bill of Rights, I believe the right to keep and bear arms. Yeah, it's been repealed though. It's been repealed by modern laws, mainly the Firearms Act, which prohibits certain types of firearms from being kept. you have to have a license and that sort of thing. So you don't have a right to bear arms anymore due to modern law. It would need to be repealed. The modern law would need to be repealed. You're a Protestant, the free, see, I don't know about all this. Yeah, it needs to be repealed. And I fully agree. The unwritten constitution should be a framework for a new written constitution. That's what we need. It needs to be written and ratified. Because we need something to hold those people in Westminster to account. We really do. And whoever gets in power next needs to restore the treason, the treason laws, because that's why, and a lot of people said it in the chat, this is why Tony Blair rolled back the treason laws, because he knew exactly what he was going to do. Why repeal the treason laws? Why that specific law? Because they knew exactly what they were going to do in 1997. This was just the foundation they were building. Yeah, the planning for it was years before that. Some could say as far back as after the Second World War. The planning for it was all the way up until 1997, when they started to lay the foundations and the groundwork for what they were about to do. And that is all coming to fruition now with the Starmer regime. Exactly. If that was still in effect, half these people would be hanging from Tower Bridge, like they used to do in the old times. If you were a traitor, they would hang you, and then they would hang your corpse from Tower Bridge as a warning to everybody else. Don't be a traitor to this country. Thanks, Cribble. Vin, thank you for all your awesome videos and live streams. Keep up the fantastic work. Thank you. But yeah, something needs to be done. I've said this in multiple videos and live streams. There's not enough accountability for our political class in Westminster. 5 years and a general election is not enough accountability. They've got 5 years to cause havoc. That's half a decade to cause the havoc that they want to cause. There should be a mechanism in place that legally binds their manifestos to their government. If they go against their manifesto that they promise, then that should void their time in government and they should be recalled and a general election called. That's what I think should happen. Yeah, exactly. And I agree, RJ. It's non-existent. There is no accountability for them. That's why I said the other day that the House of Lords, it should be restructured. It shouldn't be the House of Lords anymore. We get rid of all those people out of the House of Lords. And instead of that, we have a People's Assembly made up of a cross-section of society, working class, a multitude of people, everybody from society. Put them in that chamber, and they're the people that are going to hold the government to account for their decisions. That's what needs to happen. Yeah, the chat's awesome. I said this before earlier. I've got a fantastic audience. The people that post comments on my videos, the people that come into the chat on my live streams, it's amazing. There's good, balanced debate going on now. And that's another reason why I got rid of Jack, because Jack was very disruptive in the chat. He was always trying to make the chat talk about the things that he wanted to talk about, or the chat was always dealing with Jack. Now it's a nice steady flow. There's debate going on. There's conversations going on in the chat. That's exactly what I wanted. This is how it should be. But yeah, going back to what's going on in this country, greater accountability is needed. They need to be held to account. They can't just be allowed to do whatever they want for 5 years with no accountability. I like that idea, Vin, in the House of Lords, and have a People's Assembly made up of people from all walks of life that hold the government to account, that take votes, that have direct democracy over the decisions the government makes. That's what needs to happen. And it should be a fair amount of people. It should be equal amount of people with left-wing views, right-wing views, that sort of thing. That's what it needs to be. Checks and balances. Then there needs to be laws that set our police force apart from government, that set the judiciary apart. Anybody that wants to be a judge in the judiciary should have no political affiliations whatsoever. They shouldn't be political at all. If they are, they don't get to be judges. It's what needs to happen. Right, let's go take a look at some more stuff. Is that it? All right, let's come out of that. Right, so we'll have a look at this story as well. So this was the teacher in Ireland who was fined, was it 60,000 euros? 60,000 euros for not using the correct pronoun. It says it here. Breaking security barred teacher Enoch Burke from attending his school this morning after he refused to call a child they. An excellent, highly educated Irish teacher, commended by students and parents, blocked from his place of work because he will not deny his Christian belief. Andrew Wilson directed in 1724 that Wilson's Hospital School should be founded with Christian ethos, as a place where young men would be brought up to live a righteous life. Today, a teacher is barred from entering simply because he will not trample on Christian ethos of the school and endorse transgenderism. And this is very indicative of what we're seeing right now, isn't it? We have a native Irish man being blocked from his place of work from a foreign person who can barely talk the language. We'll listen to it.
I'm at work today. I'm here to attend to my workplace. This is where I work.
My response will be the same. I'm not.
Sorry, it's low. I can't improve the sound.
German and history
Really
teacher.
sorry.
Really low.
I'm really sorry.
No, I work here as a German and history teacher, and I need to.
You're doing this
No, I'm not. I'm
forcefully.
just walking into school as I always
You
have
are
done.
walking towards me. I'm always saying.
Yep, because this is my workplace, and
make a
this is
space
where.
between me
Well, I'll
and
just
you.
go around
I'm
here.
really sorry for that. You are
Yeah,
not allowed
this
to.
is what you see now this morning as I come to school. It's Tuesday. You know, I'm here to do my work and just to engage in my workplace, and I'm being obstructed now from entering in the door here by this man. Simply because my crime is apparently, that's why you have this vest here, this security, because I would not call a young boy there. I wouldn't endorse transgenderism, and I'm being obstructed now from going in the door here. We've had the fines, the 66,000 euro. I've been put in a prison cell unjustly for over 500 days, and now I'm being obstructed by this man from going in here. I have a right to be in here today. No, I have a right. I'm a teacher here. I work here.
You
See, a lot of people say that conflict isn't coming, but here's a smaller scale version of it. You've got a native trying to do his job, being stopped by a foreign national from doing his job. There's conflict already building in Ireland, and the same sort of conflict is building here. Eventually, the natives are going to have enough of this, and it's going to erupt. It will erupt, because I get constantly people coming to my videos saying there won't be civil war in this country. Yes, there will, because eventually people will reach their breaking point. They will. They will reach their breaking point. And myself and Tom and others have been warning people about this. I've been saying, unless we have some kind of definitive action like a national strike to bring this government down and to shut it down and get rid of it, then civil war is inevitable, in my opinion. It is. We're on that path. Dr. David Betts, a historical, Steve will probably tell me what he's a doctor of, but he's a professor, and he's more or less said, yeah, if things don't change or improve within the next 5 years, we're on course to civil war in this country. I think it's sooner. I think it's a lot sooner in this country.
if you are intent to be here, you will be here with respect and with your
Yes, I
with
am.
your
That's
reputation
absolutely
that you are a teacher.
Yes,
But now
and
the
I
high
am a teacher here.
security because you are not allowed to be here, and it's trespassing that you are doing
No,
now.
that's not true. That's not absolutely not true. I've been here for the past 7 years. I work here. I've been here every school day, and I have a right to be here.
You
I'm
need
not
to be
trespassing.
thankful to me. I didn't ring the guards till now because
Oh, you do whatever you want to do, but I have
it's
been here every
trespass.
day, and I
It's
will be here.
trespass. You are
I will
inside
be
this
here.
school
That's not true.
premises, and
I
you
will
want
be
to,
here. I
and
will
you
be
want,
here
and you want
where
to,
I teach and where I work.
and you want to disturb the decorum of school. Yesterday, we
So this
was
is what we have here now. Today, I'm being obstructed from entering into my workplace where I teach and have taught for the past 7 years. Of course, it's all arising out of the fact that I wouldn't accept transgenderism and call a young boy they. We've had the past, we've seen this, we've seen Judge David Nolan. This was his desire now, that I would be treated as a pariah and shut out of the place where I belong, where I'm entitled to be as a Christian, as a teacher, simply because.
So just to cover this as well, this guy was fined 66,000 euros. He was also illegally put into prison because for not using the correct pronouns for 500 days. He spent 500 days in prison for not using the correct pronouns. This is Ireland, by the way.
Because I couldn't feed something to, endorse transgenderism, tell a young boy that he might be a monstrosity to anybody of a sound mind, I would say, but also anybody of a Christian belief. He made.
Let's see if he actually confronts. See what actually happens. Does he actually get escorted off or anything like that? That doesn't look like it. Back to the comments, see what's going on. It's scary. It is. It's really scary. Betts is lecture on war studies, so history, yeah. Let's see what that question is. Will we organise to finally hold them to account, or will the political elite orchestrate a civil unrest and then blame the public for the collapse? They know we are onto them. I think that's very likely, RJ. I think it's very likely. Yeah, 500 days for not using the correct pronouns. Disrespect the decorum of the school, says the security guard. Yeah. But pedos getting few ones, yeah. But this is what the communist state does. This is what the communist state does. It doesn't punish criminals. It punishes dissenters. It punishes the people that are questioning the actions of the state. That's the priority of the communist government, to punish. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it in this country. We're seeing it in Ireland. We're seeing it all over the place. We're seeing it in France. We're seeing it in Australia. We're seeing it in Canada. Wherever these people are, wherever the world economic young leaders are, that's where this technocratic communism is rearing its ugly head. I'll just bring the country down over spite, just like, yeah. Right. Let's see what else we've got to cover. Yeah, so, right, I want to talk a little bit about this as well. So, apparently, the Odeon Cinema pushes digital ID to watch movies. Odeon Cinema is fully signed up to the digital ID dystopia awaiting us, as they now request you to use to watch movies at the cinema. Boycott the Odeon. I just want to say something about cinema, right? The age of the cinema is coming to an end. The age of going out to the cinema for a night out is ending. I'll tell you why it's ending: because of the advent of AI. Pretty much soon, within the next, 5 or 6 years, you'll be able to create your own movies. The technology has come on that far. I've been looking at Grok making movies. Elon Musk says by next year, Grok, you'll be able to type in and it will create a movie for you. If you couple that with all the new virtual reality stuff that's coming out, it'll be like the Enterprise. You'll have your own holodeck. You'll be able to live your own story. You'll be able to create your own story and that will be your entertainment. You'll be able to go into your own fantasy and live in there and live out any story you want. So the age of movie making, the cinema, TV really is coming to an end. We will probably see the end of it in the next 100 years. It just won't exist. It'll just exist as a medium. That's it. That's the way things are going. People will be able to create their own movies in their own living room on their virtual reality. And instead of watching it, they'll be able to live it. And that will be the final nail in the coffin of the movie industry and the movie stars and that sort of thing. That's my prediction. Anyway, that's the way things are going. What do you all think to that? No, the way things are going. I mean, I don't watch any terrestrial TV now. I don't watch any terrestrial TV. I don't watch any modern stuff. It's rare I even watch modern films anymore, unless they're action films. I'm so sick of girl bosses, of 5'2" women being able to kick the shit out of 6 foot tall, built like brick shithouse special forces people. It's ridiculous. I think people are tired of that now. They're tired of woke Hollywood, race swapping, the BBC. William the Conqueror, apparently, you know, there was Jamaican people in that. People are just tired of it. They're tired of this woke bullshit, and it's showing. And if movie companies really wanted to make any money, they would just ditch the woke directors. They would just ditch this woke crap and go back to form. I literally have to go back to what 1990s sci-fi, because I'm a massive sci-fi fan. I can't watch modern Star Trek. Modern Star Trek is absolutely garbage. They've lost the plot with that now. Discovery was horrendous. Strange New Worlds is ridiculous. I just watched the trailer the other day for Star Trek Academy, and it might as well just be called Star Trek Woke. That's what they might as well just call it, Star Trek Woke. Gone are the days of the greats. I'll be honest with you, wasn't a massive fan of The Next Generation. That was a little bit woke in its own right, but there were some good stories in there. My Star Trek was Deep Space Nine. I loved Deep Space Nine. It was amazing. Babylon 5, amazing. Amazing 90s sci-fi. Some short-lived TV series. Space Above and Beyond. Those sort of things. I have to go back and watch shows from my childhood like Knight Rider, Airwolf, The A-Team to get decent entertainment, because I can't watch the shit that they put out on Netflix because at some point some trans person turns up in it just for no reason, simply because they've got to tick a box and it doesn't fit in the story. Blake 7, yeah. Cheap sets, laughable monsters, but great stories, like Doctor Who. They didn't have the money, but their stories were fantastic. They didn't have to shoehorn this identity politics bullshit into everything. Spoon feeding it all the time, ramming it down your throat. Captain Whitefoot, yeah, exactly, yeah. Sapphire and Steel, another awesome TV show. Strange and out there, but awesome. You can't be Captain Kirk. Blade Runner and Matrix are my faves, yeah. Awesome films. Before wokeness became a thing. Anything before wokeness came into the world. I mean, there's been some good films that I've watched. I like The Fall Guy. That was a good remake. That was a film of the TV series. That was quite good. I like that. Don't get me wrong, there've been some good films, but there's been some absolute shit as well. Yeah, Firefly is awesome. Killed off long before it should have been, and the movie Serenity that followed on from it is also amazing. I mean, films from our era, you've got to look at the Marvel Universe, right? Marvel Universe. Some dodgy stuff in there. Endgame was a bit dodgy because we had the female Avengers moment. But apart from that, everything up to the point of Endgame with Marvel was okay. Everything after Endgame, dog shit. Absolute dog shit. Same with Star Wars. The new series, the after God with Ray, the garbage. There's only 6 films. They even watching those new films, those new Disney Star Wars films, made me appreciate the prequels more. I wasn't a massive fan of the prequels, but after watching the newer films, it was like, yeah, there's only 6 films now in the Star Wars series. That's episodes 1, 2, 3, and 4, 5, and 6. That's it. The only decent new Star Wars film would be Rogue One, and at a push, Solo. It's a guilty pleasure, Solo, but the rest is just shit. Yes, I do, mate. When he used to ride around on a cloud and his little staff used to grow. It's awesome. The water margin as well. The water margin, that was another one. Yeah, we had some great TV programs, Dempsey and Makepeace, all those sort of things. Magnum PI. But yeah, we have to go back. We have to go back to the 90s, 80s, and 70s, don't we? Pigsy, yeah, Pigsy, he had a rake, didn't he? He had a rake. Remember? Starsky and Hutch, yeah, my favourite thing as a kid. Water margin was genius, yes. Yeah, nostalgia. Why do you think people want to build time machines and go back to the 80s? Because that's where they've got that's where, people have the most fondest memories. Everything pre-2019, everything after that point, dog shit. Everything after the pandemic has been dog shit. Really has. Rogue One, defo, and always will be my rewatch list as a standalone Star Wars film. Bloody awesome. Yeah, that was the best Disney Star Wars film, in my opinion. It was. The TV show was dog shit. I don't even get me started on TV shows. I agree. They need to be held responsible. Too many get off, and all the police service binders cost tax money. They do wrong. They pay from their own pocket. Following orders doesn't cut it. No, it won't. Great films before their time. Alien, Terminator, The Thing. Yeah, I would say I would add to that list as well. Great films would be Alien and Aliens. Aliens, probably one of the best sci-fi sequels ever, and Terminator 2 as well. Yeah, I couldn't even watch that. The Dark Crystal. What was it called? Dark Crystal Rebellion or something like that, wasn't it? It was like, no. Chips and Dukes of Hazzard. I used to play chips. I used to have a grifter. My bike was a grifter. I'll show you what a grifter is. Grifter. Oh, God, yeah, the grifter. Rally grifter. Rally grifter. Mine was a blue one, like on here. This was mine. The Rally grifter. My old faithful. I had so much fun with this. I used to have like a little yellow siren thing on here with a red button on here, and you could make police car sounds and stuff like that. And this flap here, you could tuck that under, and if you rode your bike, it sounded like it's made a motorbike noise when you tuck your mud flap under there. But what would happen is it would burn the mud flap. Oh yeah, the memories of the old grifter. Used to love that bike. It was awesome. It was built like a tank. It was heavy as hell, but it could take some hammer. It really could. Wasn't as light as a BMX, but it would definitely give a BMX a run for its money. Because you had gears on it as well. We had twist handle gears at the top as well, so we had 3 separate gears, which a BMX didn't. Loved those things. That's the one, RJ. That's the one. The twist grip gear change. It was awesome. You had to be careful because if you twisted it too hard, it'd break off. My pick hasn't come up. Right, okay. I think I know why. We'll stop sharing that and we'll share that. Right, Rally Grifter. Here we go. Right, we'll get on it. Right, I think it's because I have to share it differently. Here we go. Share screen. Here we go. It should come up now. Is it on now? So look on here. There we go. That's a Rally Grifter. I know people used to love BMXs, but I used to love this design. It used to look awesome. Yeah, when you fall off. The chopper as well. The chopper was a popular one. Yeah, RJ's just coming up with that one. Better than the chopper. That was a dangerous bike. Yeah, it was. used to get your mates riding the back of it. I had trick nuts on my grifter. I used to put trick nuts on it. I used to have my mate standing with the trick nuts on the wheel, riding down the road. Used to tie a bit of rope to the back of the seat. Get on it. Used to tie a bit of rope to the back of the seat here, and then you could pull your mate down the road on his skateboard. That's what we used to do. Memories. Memories. I think that was Rally's answer to a BMX. I think that's what they came up with. They came up with a grifter. It was as heavy as hell though. I think BMXs were made out of aluminium. They were strong. Don't forget, BMXs were strong, but a grifter was like a tank. It could literally go through anything, and its tires were literally indestructible. I remember bursting both my tires and still riding around it and being fine. It was like a tank. It really was. I used to love it. Yeah, it did. They came in all colours. I think there was a green one as well. There was a smaller version of it as well. What was that called? It was the smaller version of the grifter. Tomahawk. Was that it? The Tomahawk. That might have been it. The smaller version of grifter, the Tomahawk, might have been that. But I have lots of memories ploughing through the woods on my grifter with my scuffed knees, bleeding knees, where I'd fallen off it onto gravel and stuff like that. But he just didn't care. He just kept on going when you were a kid. Your knees were a mess, your arms were a mess. I even took it on the BMX course, actually. The local BMX course, my grifter. The Grift, yeah. I used to love that thing. It was awesome. Memories, guys, eh? Memories. Better times. Yeah, they did. They came in red as well. Definitely, I remember seeing red ones knocking about. I think the blue ones were more popular, but there were definitely red ones. I think there was like a weird greeny yellow type colour one as well, grifted colour. My son had the red and black grifter. It wasn't choppy, it was solid. Yeah, they were well built. Very well built for the time. Right, what I'm going to do is see if anybody wants to come in for a bit. Invite a guest. Copy. I'll drop the link into chat. That should be in the chat. Should be coming up. Why didn't that go in then? That's in there. Paste. And you know what? I love. I've actually bought Battlestar Galactica. I've got it on digital. I bought the first season. It's awesome. I actually quite like the remake as well. The remake's pretty good as well. before everything went to shit. I think the remake was around about, wasn't it, 2006, 2007? Sure it was. Chipper, that's it. That's it, Stefan, you've got it, mate. The Chipper. I've dropped the link in the chat. If anyone wants to come in for 5 minutes, you can do. We're on the hour 15 mark, so I don't want to carry on too much longer than this, but yeah, double deckers. And I don't know what it was, but Christmas selection boxes were a lot better in the 80s as well. Remember those weird stockings you used to get? They were like stocking, they were selection boxes in the shape of stocking, and they had that weird netting going around the edge of it. You'd have weird sweets in it. You got spangles, you'd have spangles in there. You'd have something called tweets in there. Tweets, they were like M&Ms, but they've got big peanuts in them. Tweets, Pacers, Mars bars used to be massive. Yeah, I've just last year for my Christmas, my partner got me, Michelle, my partner, she got me the box set, the Babylon 5 box set with all the movies as well. Bring Stefan in. I'm going to talk to Stefan for a bit. How you doing, mate? You all right?
Yeah. Bit of nostalgia, mate, yeah.
Nostalgia. Isn't it a sign of the times, though, mate, when we have to look back to the 80s and 90s and 70s for TV because it's so shit nowadays?
Oh, mate, yeah, I can't, like I say, I haven't watched TV for years, and I always go back to the old stuff that I used to love when I was growing up.
I don't know if you've watched it, right? It's a sci-fi show. I started watching it on Netflix. It was called Another Life, and it started off promising. It was like, it got Katie Sackhoff in it. You know, Starbuck out of the remake of Battlestar Galactica.
Yeah.
It had her in it, and it's like, and then for some reason they shoehorned a trans person into the show for no reason.
Turn off.
Instant turn off. Like, nah, done now.
Yeah, that's it. What was
It's
it
like,
I was
why?
watching? The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power.
Oh God!
Did you ever? Oh, mate. Oh, that was.
I can't watch it. You watch Nerderotic? You watch Nerderotic and Saturday Night Tights? They absolutely rip it to pieces.
I'm not surprised. It's fucking
It's just
terrible.
awful.
Yeah, I mean,
when you watch the movies and then you go and watch that TV show, it's like, what? And they spent millions on it, millions in episodes.
I know, and it was like, J.R.R. Tolkien sort of based it on the sort of the old English type scenario, where it was Anglo-Saxons, not Africans, and it was just not that there's a time and a place, but it's just not there. You know what I mean?
No, it's like just whenever they go into the past of these shows or they do like prequels, they just ruin it. They ruin the lore of the actual.
Well, they tried to rewrite it,
didn't
they? They tried to rewrite it. It's like you've had a Black Queen and things like that. You just think, come on, please.
You've got that Black Dwarf. That Black Dwarf. It's like, no.
What? Yeah. I mean, yeah. It's an instant turn off because it's not true to the actual trueness of the story, is it?
I always say,
people were characterized as.
Because we get all these lefties coming out of the woodwork when you complain about race swapping. They say, "Oh, you're just bigoted, you're racist." So, would you be okay with Martin Luther King being played by a white person then?
No, I don't think so.
Of course they wouldn't.
No. Yeah,
they
just
like
trying to push their agenda through movies and TV programs.
There's been quite a few modern stuff where I've started watching it and thought, oh, this isn't too bad. It was like the remake of Quantum Leap because they were on about bringing Scott Bakula back into it to actually end his story. And he comes, and then there's a trans person in that as well. It's like, done. Don't want to know.
But I noticed I started watching the latest the last of the James Bond films, and he's gone rogue in the film apparently, or he's disappeared, and then they've slipped in a black woman who's the new 007, and that was it. I just bang off. I'm not having it. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, I mean, I knew apparently before they'd done that they were on about slipping it in there, and obviously they done it on the sly, hoping nobody had noticed. But I noticed instantly as soon as she said, "I'm the new 007," I thought, "Fuck, bang."
They just ruin it. What it is, that they don't know how to write television, because for them it's not about the story. Everything's identity politics first, story secondary. They just fit the story in around their identity politics, don't they?
Well, it's things like Hollywood. I mean, the way why Hollywood has literally disappeared is gone. Because did you know the American government had a film department where they use film to push certain propaganda?
Oh yeah, I mean we've got something similar. We've got something similar in this country. They used to use Pinewood Studios.
Yeah, or the BBC.
BBC now, definitely. Anybody that is still paying for their TV license, why?
They're mad. Yeah, 22 million apparently.
Yeah, it's like, why are you still paying for that? Because it's just a pile of shit.
Isn't that quite an obvious way to get rid of one of their propaganda tools? Stop paying it.
Yeah, I mean,
instantly defunds them.
I've made videos about this before, Stefan, right? And they're saying we need to get a party into Parliament that can defund the BBC. It's like, you can do it today yourself.
Do it yourself. Yeah.
You can legally do it.
Yeah, well, of course you can. There's nothing legal about it. You just don't watch it. I'll give them both barrels, mate. I'll give them both barrels when they.
Template, do not get me started on Doctor Who, mate. Do not get me started on Doctor Who.
Yeah, well, there you go.
Christ.
Yeah, I mean, do you know your question to your thingy on the grifter? Wasn't it a chipper?
That was it, mate. That was it. Yeah, because there was a smaller version, wasn't there?
Because my brother had it.
Yeah, they were awesome bikes. You know what? I preferred my grifter to BMXs. I really did.
If I remember rightly, I'm sure the grifter and the chipper were out quite a way before they started bringing in BMXs. A good sort of 3 or 4 years, I think it was, before they started being. But even the BMXs were 100 times better than the shit they bring out now. I mean, you can pay like 10 grand for a push bike now. I mean, you know, these were we used to make we used to call them gambos. You nick the prams off the wheels off a pram and knock yourself up like a little go-kart with a bit of string at the front. Do you remember that?
This is the thing, though. I know technology has given us so much, but it's taken so much away. The kids will never, because that's what made people think about wanting to be engineers, doing that sort of stuff.
Yeah, creating something.
Things down and building things instead of just like tapping on a keyboard and using a mouse. We were out in the woods. I mean, I don't know about you, but the 6-week holidays, I was never in. I was up a tree, building tree houses, and all sorts.
I said I grew up in Wales, so literally my front and back door when it was mountains, hills, and forests. So we was out like 7:30 in the morning, and come back sort of 7:30, 8 o'clock at night, and all you see is sheep. You know what I mean? And it was just like one big adventure playground. In
summer now, mate, the countryside is quiet. There's no kids playing out in the woods or anything like that, building fires, stuff like that. They're all in the towns and cities on their iPads and on their iPhones.
But you couldn't have your kids going out doing that now, could you? Because we're not in a safe country.
No, probably not now, mate. No, you're right. No.
You know, it was a high trust society back in them days. And them days are well and truly gone.
Yeah, they need to carry semi-automatic weapons and have a chuffing flak jacket on now, mate, if they want to go out and play in the woods nowadays.
Well, where I lived in Wales, there was only really, it was a little mining village, and you had like a youth club, or you could join the army cadets. So I managed to join the army cadets, and we used to have some great fun doing the whole, not operations, what do you call them? When you just go out and do some orienteering, camping. We used to go to the old fire ranges and shoot the 2.2s. I've had a 303 in my hands. Annual camps. Is that right? Is that what they called?
You know, when I was in the army cadets in my hometown, right? We had our barracks had a shooting range in the basement. We had a shooting range in the basement. And I remember I used to go on a Tuesday. I used to go and shoot air rifles at this local place in our town.
Yeah, love that.
It's gone now. And then on a Friday, it was to get a special pass. I don't know if you got this. We got a special pass from Army Cadets where you could like have the afternoon off and go to the shooting range to practice your gun etiquette and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we had old World War II, M1 Grants.
Yeah.
I can swear we had those. That's what we were shooting because they were massive. They were like big blocks of wood, and they were fucking heavy. And we used to rest them on sandbags to shoot them because they were that heavy.
Because if I remember rightly, the old 303s were like bolt action, weren't they?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that's probably what I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's it.
We had the old drill rifle because they were just blocks of wood because they couldn't afford to give the Home Guard weapons at the time. We used them for our drill weapons.
It's mad, isn't it? Oh, it was great. I used to love it. It was when I moved back to England from Wales, that was the one thing that I was going to see if I could get moved to one up here, but there wasn't really one about, so I was gutted about that when I left.
Right, mate. I'm sorry to end this, but I'm going to have to end this
go on,
tonight.
No worries, mate. It's nice speaking to you.
We're going a fair bit. Thanks for coming again, Stefan. Awesome to have you on, mate, as always.
Yeah.
Always welcome to come on, mate. Hopefully, I should be able to get Tom to come on to the next one, hopefully.
He's a nice fella, Tom.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, then.
Right.
Catch you later, mate.
Thanks, mate. Thanks for coming on.
Bye-bye, mate.
See you later, mate. Right, everybody. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you like the content. Want to reiterate again, you guys make my channel. You're my audience. Great audience. Fantastic audience. Always giving me encouragement in the comments. Always coming out and cheering me on, that kind of thing. Really appreciate it. You're the best guy. You're the best audience I could wish for. Really. Thanks for giving me the incentive to carry on and keep fighting on sometimes as well, because you guys do that. You motivate me as well, and I really appreciate it. I really do. So yeah, thanks for coming along, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Go check out my Rumble channel and my Twitter. Once this live stream's over, I'll leave those links in the first comments, so go and check those out as well if you want to. Once again, thanks for coming along. I shall see you all in the next video. I shall see you in the next live stream. This is Vindicator, signing off.